Get to the right. Oh, and our McAfee. Okay, this is even sketchier. It's implying that we were already had. And here's what I was talking about. Hello, buddy. My name is Eric. And today we're kind of back to the trend of looking at questionable ads, but with a different slant. We're not looking for malware. We're looking for what you are actually far more likely to find on most questionable websites, which is ads for genuine antivirus products that are promoted in a totally misleading manner. And I thought we would go through how this scheme actually works and the trouble with it. So let's see. Now, not all of these are going to be that. This looks like a fairly typical adware scam, so we're going to skip this one. Now, this is a site. I probably shouldn't say the name of it because it's a copyright infringement, and they have some pop hunters. So one of the main way these will work is this is a clever scheme that doesn't require you to install anything, but basically turns your Chrome into adware by allowing notifications. Now, of course, it's going to tell us that we just had to confirm we're not a robot. Now, unfortunately, all we did was allow notifications to some questionable ad server. Let's see what else we got. Your file is ready to download. This one even knew the level of the series that we were supposedly about to get right into. Okay. I have a bad feeling about this, but I'm going to find out what this is doing anyways. It's just a browser hijacker. I mean, really, that's all you're going to find. But now you can see what's happened. Now, most of these initially are just going to be things like gambling ads. But if we wait a bit of time, we'll get what we're looking for. Now, something you'll note is all of these have something in common. These are not ads in the general sense. These are not being paid for by these companies. You can tell partially, I mean, this token is an indication, and this is a gambling site that has an affiliate program. See, right at the bottom. What does that mean? Well, it means, unlike traditional advertising, where an advertiser will go to a website like YouTube and they will say, we will pay you to show our message, they're instead saying, you can join our affiliate program, post our link anywhere, and we will give you a cut. And this is not, there's nothing wrong with this. I've even used affiliate links time. There's nothing wrong with this. But it is a bit more dangerous if they're not validating who is signing up, because the best ways to sell things are incredibly dishonest. And the problem is, in an unchecked environment where you are not checking how they are selling a product, they can actually, A, break the law, and B, make your product look very bad. Like a lot of security companies are either blinding themselves to or are accepting as a marketing strategy. Now, this actually is a different thing where I'm not sure if this is a conflict or if they are actually, they've made some sort of mistake, and they're, instead of sending me to the Total AV ad, when I click this, I actually end up on a gambling site or a download for a browser hijacker. Every time before I turn the camera back on. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can actually, okay, now we're getting what we're looking for. So, this is a Total AV, but if we follow the sequence of how we got here, we can figure out there is in fact an affiliate code associated. Oh, and now we got another sports betting offer. Now, if there's an affiliate code on this, it's going to be this cookie. Yep, FID affiliate, and here's the affiliate number. So this one doesn't show it in the URL for long, but there we go. So the way this works is you sign up for an affiliate program. So Total AV did not place the ad. And this ad is by comparatively not that bad because it is just saying download an antivirus. Okay, fine. But many of them will actually steal from the tech support scammer script. And they will say, your computer is infected, run a scan now. And then instead of starting the phone scam, which has a low conversion rate, is completely illegal, they would instead go to an antivirus company. And the antivirus company is technically innocent, although they really shouldn't be letting people do this. Now we get another option to allow notifications to prove that we're not a robot. And, oh, look at that. Where did we end up? Interesting. Now, once again, if we go to inspect, we can discover, go to storage. Now we'll expand the value. And let's see what we can learn. Add ID, affinity. And tracing through the chain, we can find out exactly what's going on here. So now we've gone from a misleading ad to a McAfee download. And if we, you can see this is not a fake site. We just got a virus detected prompt. Now, where is this going to take us? Oh. Well, it looks like that one was kind of a fail. Okay, now we're back to Total AV with a different affiliate. And here is something I've never seen before from dodgy streaming site ads. A redirect to someone's YouTube channel. And people are commenting, did you really pay free movie sites? And people are generally questioning why someone would do that. Yeah, I can't really understand why you would do that either, but I guess, oh, diamond ring found in his garden. And then we get another option to remove a virus, and let's see where this one goes. Oh, it's still going to SecureConfDL, so unfortunately, one of the sites on this ad network is dead. Now, we also got a questionable media player installed, Flip Player. This is VLC with some added benefits. It's made by the volunteers of the Videoland community, but this is not Videoland. Oh, and let's see what other if we're finally going to get to the right. Oh, and our McAfee. Okay, this is even sketchier. It's implying that we were already had. And here's what I was talking about. So, we got this looks like a tech support scam. Recurring payment has failed and my antivirus subscription of McAfee Total Protection has expired. Obviously, my virtual machine never had McAfee installed. After the expiry, we're susceptible to viruses and hackers' attacks. Well, I don't want hackers' attacks. That's scary. Your antivirus protection is completely disabled. Please continue to the next page and continue your payment. Well, we need to get on this. I'm getting half off? Wow. Now, this is because, of course, what people don't understand when they say, how do people fall for this? Or how do people do this? The people who fall for this are not tech savvy. Most people who use dodgy streaming sites are not. There is a subset who are. But that's not the target demographic. If you're watching this video, you're not the target demographic for this scam, right? So that's what happens. Someone who maybe knows that their computer should, or at least knows of the idea of having an antivirus on their computer and that it might have expired and might go through with this. Now we click renew and we can see as we are now on an affiliate, if we look up here, we can see, oh, creative clicks, APAC, that's Asia Pacific, BV, which is usually a Dutch corporation, partner links. I think we can find the affiliate code in here. So, we're now on this page. And we get our pricing, and as you can see, if we go up here, connection is secure. This is the real McAfee site, not a phishing site. You can check that. So someone is going to think, okay, that means this is real. So, put in our email, and obviously I'm not going to buy McAfee. Oh, and we get another pop-up. And that might be the thing that would give it away. But maybe if you installed McAfee, it would actually get rid of these. So this is, I mean, I understand why antivirus companies do this. Because antivirus to consumers is something that is fundamentally incredibly hard to sell without being dishonest. Because consumers do not think about antivirus anymore. I mean, consumers, even though consumer malware is actually really on the rise right now, people don't think about it. And people just assume their computer comes with antivirus. Technically true. While Windows Defender is certainly not brilliant, people just kind of rely on that. And it's very hard to convince them otherwise, especially without being misleading. So companies like McAfee are really, they're kind of desperate, so they turn to affiliates who say they will boost their sales, much like the other way that McAfee will get sales is by pre-installing on a computer. Unfortunately, given that I saw in one case that Jim Browning tweeted about this, and that was an affiliate ID I had seen in one of my videos months earlier, they're not very good about banning the problem affiliates. What they need to do is, if an affiliate is conducting themselves in a way that is not reasonable, McAfee need to ban them. Like, if you're committing fraud, you do not want these people promoting your software, because it makes you look like a massive scam. So that's my take. I feel like the antivirus industry as a whole is genuinely in a terrible place. It is, people always ask me what antivirus I recommend. I mean, I think Bitdefender is among the best, but it's genuinely hard for me to answer any of them, because So most malware nowadays is getting so good at beating antivirus by being very minimalist and stealthy. It's just not like the old days where it was relatively easy. Now, I just kind of want to go back to looking at this Flip player. So I think there's something more malicious going on here. So let's just turn on MITM proxy and find out. Now note that we've got two different folders, and I think if there's anything sketchy going on, it's going to be to do with this Flip player service. Okay, now in order to find out, given that none of the sandboxes are finding anything, let's try opening it up in Binary Ninja. Now, just a reminder, if you are interested in learning more about reverse engineering, I do recommend, if it's something you're serious about and you can afford it, joining my school. I'm working on a video course on this subject, which will be available for members in that program. So if that's something you're interested in, you may want to check that out. Now let's get into it. So, given what we're interested in and what anyone found, although I've not been able to replicate myself on my VM, is HTTP requests. We can see these win HTTP requests. So all of these and where these are called are going to be interesting. We can see all of these are being called in a function that's called sub, and then the number is actually just the memory address. So that's just how Binary Ninja calls it by default. So let's just call this web request for now. Okay, so this is definitely not a good sign for the legitimacy of Flip player, that the API is actually an encrypted string, and we don't get the real string until we call this function, which goes through a couple of other functions before finally giving us the real string. Legitimate software is not going to go to this length to stop you from searching an API endpoint. It also seems to be smart enough to figure out whether you ran it as a service or not, and it gets suspicious. It'll briefly work, but it won't let you get a lot of information about it if it's not running as a service. But we can, once we've ran it, we can go through the strings, which are of course all decrypted at this point. It's also very resilient to Wireshark, but HTTP debugger was able to discover some things. So let's see what all the fuss is about. Seems like then I wasn't missing anything when I was trying to dissect this. Oh, no, that's a different hit. So keep alive. Okay, so definitely not. It's not making it obvious whatever it's doing. Collecting the time and the hardware, and the binary is so small and has so little functionality. It's sort of hard to figure out. The only way we're going to get half satisfactory answer is to let it run overnight. Okay, so after waiting a bit, we end up with an inconclusive answer. So ultimately, there's no plausible way for command and control activity to be occurring here unless the outcome of the update endpoint is going to change. There is every indication this is malicious. The fact that it is a repackaged open source project for no obvious reason, the fact that it has a service running a system that is just dropped. So I can think of a few possibilities. Either there's a backdoor with another payload that is able to take advantage, or it's possible there's a hidden... The string is encrypted, and that's why you can't search the binary for it. But there is no obvious indication through any of the strings that I was able to decrypt that anything dodgy is happening. It generates a UID. Of course, it has a version, and possibly if we were to send it with a different version, we might get a different number. And once again, nothing interesting happens. We just get... So there's really no signal here as to what's going on. It doesn't seem to... So it's not actually an update function. It does record per UID every time we are sending this. So it's possible it's some very lame form of tracking that is just tracking, because it does definitely track IP addresses. If you go to that API endpoint in the browser, that's what happens. So I'm going to rate this inconclusive. It's dodgy, and it sort of adds. So that is going to be all for this video. So we kind of got two things. I mean, we got a dodgy rip-off of an open source program, but the biggest thing is how the antivirus industry is on many levels not in a good place right now, and as a result, antivirus companies are turning to desperate and disgraceful practices, like relying on affiliates who put out pop-ups similar to what tech support scammers do. It's unfortunate, and I don't know what the solution is. I think there really needs to be a lot of rethinking in the industry. Given what modern malware looks like, the old methods are simply not cutting it anymore, or pretty reliably, new samples, especially for info stealers, are fully undetected until long after the campaign is already dead. The industry's not in a great place. That's all for me for now. Bye.